You would believe that some SUV completely new in the market today are almost without value. Not for their age, but because the buyers are literally fleeing from them. And not we talk of vehicles electric. These are SUV of gasoline that became in disastrous financial absolute in 2026. If you own one of these already, you lost thousands of euros. Today, we go to Count Inform, descending the 20 SUV more useless in the which you can waste your money right now. We go from bad to worse. Position 20, Buick Enclave 2025. The Enclave 2025 received a redesigned Massive that usually should help to the resale, but not this time. Car Edge predicts that this SUV will lose the half of its value in only 3 years of ownership. Here is the problem real. Buick flooded completely the market of rental. The Fleets Corporate bought thousands and thousands of Enclaves 2025, and now in 2026 the market used is literally drowning in returns of cars of rental. An Enclave of 50,000 euros is fighting for reaching barely 25,000 in auction right now. The redesign itself created another problem giant. Buick abandoned the proven motor V6 of 3.6 liters for a turbo of 2.5 liters of 4 cylinders. In paper, it saves fuel. In the reality, it is noisy, it is tremendously underpowered for a SUV of 3 rows, and the customers it hate completely. The feedback of reliability early is absolutely brutal. The owners report problems constant of transmission, shifts rough that shake all the vehicle, loss sudden of power, and shifts hard that sound like if something broke each time. Buick tried to justify a price almost of luxury with the redesign. But when your SUV is plagued of problems of transmission and carries the stigma of fleet of rental stock, the buyers simply not are paying prices of luxury. They are offering the bottom absolute in the auctions, and the sellers private are being completely destroyed in the trade-ins. It is a massacre financial total. Position 19, Infiniti QX80 2025. Infiniti redesigned completely the QX80 for 2025 with a V6 twin-turbo, technology modern and styling updated. But in 2026, it is bleeding value to a rhythm truly alarming. With a prediction of Car Edge of 50 and 1% of depreciation from an MSRP high of around 80 and 5,000 euros, the owners are seeing more of 40,000 euros disappear in barely 3 years. Here is the truth brutal that no one wants to admit. The tax Infiniti is completely real. In spite of the redesign complete, the buyers of luxury in 2026 are flocking en masse to Lexus and Cadillac in its place. The QX80 suffers from a lack absolute of prestige of brand. The dealerships Infiniti are being forced to close their halls of exhibition independent and go under the dealerships Nissan for to survive. The brand is sitting in a purgatory automotive. Too expensive for to be mainstream, not the sufficiently prestigious for to be true luxury. It is the worst position possible. The buyers that can pay 80 and 5,000 simply are choosing brands with better reputation, and those who look for value are buying options more cheap that do the same job. The QX80 is trapped in the middle without no one that it wants. The result is a depreciation that destroys the pockets of the owners that believed in the brand. Position 18, Nissan Murano 2025. The Murano 2025 was the attempt of Nissan to modernize its elegant SUV of size medium. In place of that, it landed in land of no one, and the value is collapsing to speed record. Here is the problem central that kills this vehicle. The Murano not is luxury, but it is priced as if it were. At 40,000 or 50,000 euros, you are paying money almost of luxury for a badge Nissan, and the buyers simply not are biting the bait. Or they grab a CR-V more cheap, or they stretch and go up to a Highlander with better resale. And here is what really accelerates the damage massively. Thousands of Murano completely new of 2025 are sitting in lots of dealerships without buyers to the view. The dealerships are literally throwing incentives in cash and discounts wild only for to move the inventory that rots. When the new ones are being discounted so aggressively, the values used are crushed almost of the night to the morning. The result direct is that the owners of Murano are underwater financially almost immediately after to buy. An owner paid 40 and 7,000 euros for one new. Only 12 months after the offers of trade-in rounded the 30 and 2,000. That is 30 and 2% disappeared in a single year. Not 3 years, 1 year. It is devastating. And it worsens each month that passes, because more Murano used flood the market, while the new ones continue without to be sold. Position 17, Jeep Grand Cherokee 2025. Consumer Reports qualified the Grand Cherokee among the vehicles least reliable of 2025. Combined with 50 and 2% of loss of value from around 50 and 5,000 euros, that is a nightmare of 20 and 8,600 euros. But here is where the situation becomes really grave. The owners not only are losing money, they are losing the head with the problems constant. The 4xe plug-in hybrid has been recalled multiple times for loss sudden of power while you drive. Imagine going at 80 kilometers per hour in highway and if suddenly your SUV of 60,000 euros simply decides to turn off. The owners report screens of infotainment that turn off randomly, leaving them without navigation, without control of climate, without camera's rear, all black while you drive. The fifth generation of the Grand Cherokee L has been recalled 15 times. That not is an error typographic. 15 recalls separate for a generation of vehicle that launched barely in 2021. Between the Goblin's electronic constant and the overpricing massive that the people paid in 2025, when the dealerships added thousands over MSRP, the owners now are discovering that their SUV worth 30,000 euros less of what still they owe to the bank. They are trapped in a vehicle little reliable that they cannot sell without to lose a fortune. It is a trap, financial perfect. Position 16. Nissan Armada 2025. The Armada 2025 changed to a motor V6, but not resolved the problem central of Nissan. No one respects the brand in the segment of luxury. The buyers that acquired this SUV the year past are on way of to lose almost 50 and 4% of what they paid for the next year. Historically, the Armada always has been the SUV of size full of budget. It is the option that the buyers choose when not they can stretch completely until an Escalade, a Lexus LX, or a Yukon. And in the market used, that perception matters enormously. For 2026, the Armada receives very little respect from the buyers, then why it depreciates so brutally fast. First, the price. The Armada now begins around 60,000 euros and scales past the 70 and 5,000 totally loaded. When the depreciation hits a vehicle in that point of price, the loss in dollars is absolutely brutal because you are losing percentages of a base very high. Second is the reaction negative to the new train of power. Nissan abandoned the beloved V8 for a V6 turbocharged and the buyers traditional of SUV of size full not are for nothing excited. They wanted the roar of the V8, the simplicity mechanical and the durability proven. In place of that, they feel that they paid money premium and received a motor smaller. That perception is killing the values of resale because no one wants a downgrade of 60,000 euros. Position 15, Jeep Wagoneer L 2025. Stellantis promised that the Wagoneer would compete directly with the Yukon and the Expedition. In place of that, it delivered a nightmare electric that loses 50 and 4% of its value in only 3 years. The Wagoneer L is a SUV massive with a problem equally massive. It is completely little reliable. And in 2026, the buyers are terrified of the costs of maintenance once that the warranty of 30 and 6,000 miles expires. It is a truck of 90,000 euros that feels like a responsibility of 40,000 the moment exact in that you sign the papers. The data of Kelley Blue Book show that a Jeep Grand Wagoneer Series 2 of 2024, 90 and 1,000 euros new, now is worth around 50 and 4,000 after of only 18 months. That is 40 and 1% disappeared and continues counting each month. The Wagoneer not only is depreciating, it is dangerous for the families. The families are being stranded in trips by road in middle of the nothing. The owners are hiring lawyers of law lemon for to sue, and the values of resale are sinking in fall free while the word spreads in forums and networks social. No one wants to buy the problem of another person, especially when that problem costs 90,000 euros new. It is a disaster complete of relations public that translates directly in values collapsed. Position 14, Land Rover Range Rover Sport 2025. Land Rover has dominated completely the art of making vehicles expensive completely without value. According to the data of CarEdge, the Range Rover Sport falls 50 and 5.5% in barely 3 years. The Range Rover Sport of 2024 has been recalled 5 times for problems that include leaks of oil, failures of transmission, and bad functioning of the camera of view rear. A recall specific involved the pressure of the oil of the transmission falling suddenly, causing that the clutch shifts to neutral while you are driving. Imagine being in middle of traffic and your transmission simply decides to go to neutral without warning. It is terrifying and dangerous. The forums of owners are completely full of nightmares electric, failures of suspension of air, and problems constant of infotainment. An owner described his Range Rover as beautiful but little reliable. Another said literally, I love how it drives when it works, which not is the sufficiently often. That is the promise of Land Rover in a sentence. Beauty and performance when it works. The problem is that not it works the sufficiently for to justify the price of entry or to maintain some value of resale. The buyers it know and are avoiding the used ones like the plague. Position 13, Jaguar F-Pace 2025. I am sure of that no one is surprised of to see this in the list, because this is a model dead walking. Jaguar said that 2025 would be the last year for the F-Pace. However, of some form still, it is limping towards 2026. Honestly, not I know why they continue building it. With 50 and 6% of depreciation, the owners of F-Pace are losing almost 30,000 euros in 3 years. But the problem real not is the SUV in itself. It is the collapse of brand happening in time real in front of everyone. Jaguar announced that it is becoming completely electric and discontinuing almost all its models of gasoline. That left to the owners of F-Pace holding a vehicle orphaned of a brand in complete retreat. Why someone would buy a Jaguar used when the support of warranty, the availability of parts, and the future entire of the brand are signs of interrogation massive. After 5 years, the F-Pace can lose more of the 70% of its value. That means that a SUV of 50,000 becomes in one of 15,000 in only 5 years. It is catastrophic. And it worsens because Jaguar as brand is in crisis existential. No one knows if they will continue existing in their form actual. That uncertainty kills any value residual that remains. Position 12, Dodge Durango 2025. In paper, the Durango still delivers all what it promises. Traction rear, power V8, capacity of towing reel. But with 50 and 9% of depreciation, a Durango of 60 and 2,000 euros becomes an SUV of 20 and 5,600 in only 3 years. Dodge kept to the Durango alive for 2025 with even more additions of last call, but the novelty already has worn out completely. The versions of high performance are losing value even more fast while the trend of SUV muscular officially dies. Here is the problem central. The generation actual of the Durango is old. While the competitors added technology of security modern, efficiency hybrid and interiors completely updated, Dodge continued selling exactly the same SUV year after year. A Durango of 1 year of antiquity averaged 40 and 3,474 euros in resale, a fall of 30.8% since new. That is 19,000 euros evaporated in only 12 months. The buyers simply not want to pay for technology old wrapped in sheet metal new. They can get something more modern, more efficient, and with better technology for the same money. The Durango is living of its reputation past, but that reputation already not worth what it used to. Position 11, Dodge Hornet 2025. The Hornet is the crisis of identity of Dodge on wheels. It is a Alfa Romeo Tonale rebranded, which is problematic in itself, sold under a brand of muscle car. The confusion not sells, and the depreciation of 50 and 9% of the Hornet it proves. Enter to a dealership Dodge in 2026, and you will see the problem immediately. The Hornets are literally piling up in the lot without buyers to the view. For middle of 2025, Dodge was offering 15,000 euros of discounts in the new ones only for to clear the lots. When the cars new are sold for so much under the MSRP, it destroys completely the market used of the night to the morning. Your Hornet of 2025 worth less than a RAV4 of 5 years of antiquity today. Let me repeat that. Your SUV almost new worth less than a Toyota of 5 years. That is devastating. The problems of quality plagued the Hornet from the launch, and then arrived the recalls. The owners report problems electric, failures of the system of infotainment, problems of transmission. It is a disaster complete. Dodge tried to charge prices premium for what essentially is an Alfa rebranded with all the problems of Alfa included. The buyers not are fools. They saw through the trick immediately, and now the owners are paying the price with values collapsed. Before of continuing, if you are obtaining any value from this video, go ahead and press that button of like. The next 10 are even worse. The depreciation is more brutal, the loss is more catastrophic. Some owners are losing 70,000 euros in only 3 years. Here is where really it hurts. Position 10, Alfa Romeo Tonale 2025. Alfa Romeo thought that the styling Italian could break the market of SUV compact American. They were completely wrong of all the forms possible. With almost 60 and 1% of depreciation, the owners of Tonale are losing 20 and 8,000 euros in only 3 years in a vehicle that began near of 40 and 6,000. The sales count all the story brutal. only 3,380 and 3 Tonale found buyers in 2025. Not even near of what Alfa expected, and the problems pile up fast. A network of dealerships American scarce, awareness of brand limited, and concerns of reliability long-lasting that continue haunting to Alfa Romeo like ghosts. It worsens dramatically. The Tonale of 2024 already has been recalled 6 times. 6 recalls in a model of 1 year. The owners report delays constant of transmission, problems severe of drainage of battery, failures of sensors, and problems serious of quality of construction. All this crushed the confidence of the buyer almost immediately after of the launch, and the market used is absolutely brutal without mercy. A Tonale T of 2024 with 20,650 miles is listed at €19,773, down almost 50% from its price new of 40 and 8,000. That is to lose almost the half of the value in basically 1 year. The dealerships not want them in trade-in. The auctions not receive offers. The sellers private not can find buyers. It is a vehicle toxic financially. Position 9. Alfa Romeo Stelvio 2025. The Stelvio suffers from exactly the same curse of Alfa Romeo as the Tonale. It is beautiful of to look at, fun of to drive, and absolutely brutal in the resale. With almost 61% of depreciation, the owners of Stelvio lose approximately €29,800 in only 3 years in a vehicle that begins around 40 and 9,000. The problem not is the experience of driving that many really enjoy. It is absolutely everything else around of that. A network of dealerships, American limited, low awareness of brand among buyers average, and the reputation of reliability, long-lasting of Alfa Romeo, that scares the buyers of cars used before of even to consider it. The story continues tirelessly. A network of service weak, concerns of reliability without resolving, and the technology and interior staying behind of the competitors German and Japanese that spend more in development. The result inevitable is that a vehicle that could be exciting of to drive new becomes in an asset completely toxic in the market used. No one it wants. The dealerships reject to take them in trade-in. The auctions not receive offers competitive. It is a death slow and painful of the value. Position 8. Land Rover Range Rover 2025. This really hurts because the Range Rover seems that it should maintain its value. The presence imposing, the luxury genuine, the badge prestigious. But behind of all that image of luxury, there is one of the worst curves of depreciation in the market entire of SUV. With almost 68% of depreciation, some owners are losing more of €70,000 in only 3 years. It is hard of to believe, but it is completely real. Then what is happening exactly? You have nightmares of reliability documented, electronics insanely complex that fails constantly, failures recurrent of suspension of air, and costs of repair and maintenance sky high to the sky. That combination absolutely destroys the confidence of the buyer used. Here is what really kills the resale in this vehicle. Once that warranty of 3 years expires, the buyers literally run in the direction opposite. No one in their sane judgment wants to own a Range Rover out of warranty. If really you have the means financial, lease it and pay the loss monthly. Many buyers rich do exactly that. They lease it, they deduct in their taxes as expensive business, and it they return before of that the warranty ends. It is the only form smart of to have one. The math is simple and devastating. €60,000 disappeared in 3 years, not is an error of calculation. It is the reality brutal of the Range Rover. Position 7. Maserati Grecale 2025. The SUV most new of Maserati already is its disaster most new. The Grecale loses 71.9% of its value in 3 years in a vehicle that costs €70,000 to €80,000 and €5,000 for to begin. The Grecale shares exactly the same problems of quality that are plaguing all the products of Stellantis. The owners report constant malfunctions electric, failures frustrating of software, and visits to the dealership in the first months of ownership. A small network of dealerships means support limited, parts extremely expensive, and times of wait long for service. The buyer of luxury of 2026 is avoiding the Grecale as if it were the plague because all the world knows exactly what happens with the Maseratis after of that, the warranty expires. The result direct is that the values of resale are in full free, immediate after of the purchase. No one wants to touch it nor with a pole of 3 meters. It is a SUV of luxury that loses more of the 70% of its value in 3 years. You buy one for 70 and 5,000, in 3 years it worth 20,000. That is 50 and 5,000 euros evaporated. It is one of the worst investments that you can make in the world automotive. The only ones that win are those who lease and return before of the disaster. Position 6, Maserati Levante 2025. If this number to you seems familiar, it is because it is. The Levante shares exactly the same brutal depreciation of 70 and 1.9% that the Maserati Grecale, but here is the difference critical and why this takes a place more high in our list. The Levante begins much more expensive. Then when it collapses, the losses in dollars are absolutely catastrophic. We are talking of SUV of 6 figures losing more of 2/3 of its value in only 3 years. Everything what hurt the Grecale hits even more hard here. Demand low, network of dealerships tiny, costs of maintenance astronomical, and concerns of reliability long-lasting that haunt the brand. But now you are piling all those problems on top of a MSRP much more high. Once that the warranty disappears, the market used basically gives up completely. The buyers not trust in it, the dealerships not want it, and the values of resale fall through the floor. And here is the kick final. The Levante has a motor derived from Ferrari. But its value of resale is worse than a Kia Soul used. Let me repeat that because it is important. A motor derived from Ferrari with value of resale worse than a Kia Soul used. That is the promise of Maserati summarized in a sentence: devastating. It is engineering Italian premium with depreciation of nightmare. What makes the Levante particularly painful is the promise broken. Maserati you sells an Italian dream, that you sell exclusivity, performance derived from races, a lifestyle aspirational. But the reality is a vehicle that spends more time in the workshop than in your garage. The owners in forums describe experiences identical. They buy the Levante in love of the design and the sound of the motor, then in the first 6 months begin the problems. First, it is something minor, perhaps a sensor. Then the screen of infotainment freezes. After, the transmission starts to shift in forms strange. For the year already you have visited the dealership 5 or 6 times. And here is the problem. Each visit you reminds that this vehicle not is Toyota. The parts take weeks in to arrive because Maserati not has inventory local. The labor is specialized and expensive. A simple service of routine that in a Honda would cost €200, in the Levante are 1,200. The buyer's potential of the market used know these stories. They them read in internet, they talk with owners actual that them warn that they flee. For that, when you try to sell your Levante of 2 years with 30,000 kilometers, the offers that you receive are insulting. A dealership you offers 40,000 for something that you paid 110,000. It is devastating emotionally besides of financially. Position 5, BMW X7 2025. The X7 is the flagship of BMW, its SUV of 3 rows. But in 2026, it is bleeding value in form truly worrying. The owners that paid €90,000 are seeing the values fall to 50,000 in only 3 years. Here is the problem central. BMW flooded completely the market with the X7. The production massive means that the supply exceeds dramatically the demand in the market used. The complexity electronic of the X7 scares the buyers out of warranty. The systems from the suspension of air until the assistance of driving fail, and the costs of repair are stratospheric. The owners report constantly problems of sensors, failures of software that require visits to the dealership, and updates constant that never end of to solve everything. The maintenance of BMW out of warranty is legendarily expensive. A service routine can cost easily thousands of euros. To replace the suspension of air can be 10,000. A repair of transmission can be 15,000. The buyers know these numbers, and for that are avoiding the X7 used like the plague. The result direct is that the values are collapsing, while the owners enter in panic trying to leave before of that the warranty expires. It is a race against the clock that all lose. The X7 also suffers from what the experts call fatigue of technology. BMW packed this vehicle with each technology imaginable. You have screen-curved massive system of sound Bowers and Wilkins of 20 speakers, suspension that scans the road ahead, seats that you give massage in 14 directions. It sounds incredible until something fails. Then you discover that to replace only the screen curved costs €5,000. The system of sound premium, if it fails, are 4,000. The suspension predictive can be 8,000 in repair. The worst is that these systems fail with more frequency of what BMW admits publicly. The owners report that after a 50,000 kilometers, it is almost sure that something electronic will leave of to work correctly. It can be the system of cameras that have suddenly shows screen black, or the system of assistance of parking that leaves of to detect obstacles, or the seats heated that only heat one side. BMW responds with updates of software that at times work and at times worsen the things. The owners themselves frustrate, lose confidence in the brand, and decide to sell. But when they try to sell, they discover that no one wants an X7 out of warranty with all those systems complex. The buyer's smart do the math. I can buy this X7 of 3 years for $50,000, or I can buy a Lexus GX new for $60,000 that will work without problems during 15 years. The majority chooses the Lexus. For that, the values of the X7 are in fall free. Position 4, Mercedes-Benz GLS 2025. The GLS is the Class S of the SUVs of Mercedes, but the depreciation is class disaster absolute. The owners are seeing 60,000 euros disappear in 3 years in vehicles that began in 100,000. It is the story familiar that we have seen to repeat itself. Electronics complex, systems of suspension expensive, failures constant of infotainment. But the GLS adds another problem massive to the size. The segment of SUV of luxury large is completely saturated. The X7, the Escalade, the Navigator, all are competing for buyers limited. When there is more supply than demand, the prices collapse inevitably. Mercedes responded to this, producing even more GLS, worsening dramatically the problem of supply. Now the market is completely flooded of used recents, and no one is paying the prices high that the sellers need. The owners are trapped underwater financially. The dealerships are offering the half of what they paid barely 2 years before. The maintenance out of warranty is a nightmare absolute. Each service costs thousands. The parts are specialized and very expensive. The times of wait are long. The buyers smart it know and are avoiding the GLS used completely. The GLS also faces a problem of identity in 2026. Mercedes tried to position it like the SUV definitive for families wealthy. The problem is that the families wealthy have many options better now. They can get an Escalade that is more icon American. They can get a Range Rover that has more presence. They can get a BMW X7 that is more sporty. The GLS is trapped without a proposal of value clear. Besides, Mercedes committed a strategic error massive. In its attempt to reach quotas of sales, they started to offer discounts aggressive in vehicles new. For end of 2025, you could get a GLS new with 15,000 euros of discount. When you do that, you destroy completely the market used. Why someone would pay 80 and 5,000 for your GLS used of 1 year when can get one completely new for 90,000 with warranty total? The owners that bought in 2024 before of the discounts are especially furious. They paid price full and now see that their vehicle worth 30,000 less of what they owe. Mercedes basically betrayed to its customers loyal for to reach numbers of sales to short term. The confidence in the brand is broken. The values are destroyed, and the owners are trapped without exit good. To sell means loss massive. To stay means to continue paying for an asset that it depreciates each month. Position 3, Audi Q8 2025. The Q8 should be successful in paper. It is elegant, powerful, has technology advanced. But in 2026, the values are falling by a precipice and the owners are losing more of the 60% in 3 years. The problem is multiple and complex. First is the reliability. Consumer Reports qualifies the Q8 low in reliability with problems constant electronic, of transmission and suspension documented. Second is the complexity technological extreme. Each feature of luxury is a point of failure potential once that you are out of warranty. Third are the costs of maintenance absolutely prohibitive. The service of Audi is expensive, the parts are expensive, the labor is specialized and expensive. A Q8 can cost easily 3,000 euros annual, only for to maintain it working basically. Fourth is the competition fierce. The segment of SUV of luxury medium is brutally competitive. The X5, the GLE, the Cayenne, all have better reputations of reliability established. The result inevitable is that the Q8 is losing the battle of resale dramatically. No one wants to pay the premium of Audi with the problems known. The values used are in collapse free. The owners are completely trapped, seeing their investment to evaporate month after month. The Q8 suffers besides from a problem of positioning confusing. Audi already has the Q7 that is SUV of 3 rows. Then they created the Q8-like version more sporty and elegant of 2 rows. But the market for SUV of luxury sporty of 2 rows is incredibly small. The majority of buyers in this range of price want 3 rows for versatility familiar. Those who want sporty true buy a Porsche Cayenne or Macan. Then the Q8 is trapped in a niche inside of a niche. Not it is the sufficiently practical for families. Not it is the sufficiently sporty for enthusiasts. Not it is the sufficiently prestigious for buyers of image. It is a vehicle without audience clear, and that it reflects brutally in the values of resale. Besides, Audi has had problems of quality specific with the Q8. The system of infotainment MMI, it freezes regularly, requiring restarts forced. The transmission of 8 speeds has problems of software that cause shifts hard. The system mild hybrid of 40 and 8 volts fails with surprising frequency. These not are problems minor. They are failures fundamental that affect the experience daily of driving. The owners frustrated flood the forums of Audi with complaints. Audi responds slow with solutions that not always work. The reputation of the Q8 is stained permanently, and in the market of luxury, the reputation it is everything. Once that a model gains reputation of problematic, it is almost impossible to recover. The Q8 is in that category now. The values will continue falling while the word spreads. Position 2. Cadillac Escalade 2025. Wait, the Escalade is an icon American. How it is in this list? The truth hurts, but the Escalade of 2025 is bleeding value to a rhythm truly alarming. GM produced too many Escalade and the market is completely flooded. Combined with prices new of 120,000 euros, the depreciation is brutal beyond of the words. The owners are losing 70,000 euros in 3 years. The math is devastating. The problems of quality are plaguing the new generation. The screen curved old D fails, the system, Super Cruise functions bad, the suspension of air has problems constant. The owners report visits frequent to the dealership in the first year of ownership. This not should happen in a vehicle of 120,000, but the problem real is the perception. The Escalade is losing its cache of luxury quickly. The buyers are choosing the Range Rover, the GLS, the X7 in its place. The Escalade is seen as less prestigious, less exclusive than before. When the perception of luxury falls, the value collapses immediately. The result is that the market used is brutal. The Escalade of 1 year of antiquity are selling for 50,000 with a loss of 70,000 from the price new. No one wants to pay the premium of GM when they can have German for similar money. The Escalade faces, besides the problem of that GM diluted the brand. It used to be that the Escalade was the pinnacle absolute of GM. If you wanted the best vehicle that GM could build, you bought an Escalade. But now, GM has the GMC Yukon Denali that is basically the same vehicle for less money. And there is the Chevy Tahoe High Country that again is practically identical for even less. The buyers, smart themselves, gave account of this. Why to pay 120,000 for an Escalade when you can get a Yukon Denali with the same features for 90 and 5,000? They are the same vehicle with badges different. Same platform, same motor, same transmission, same interior basically. Only that the Escalade charges premium for the badge and lights different. That realization has destroyed the values of the Escalade. The buyers already no longer see justification for the premium. Besides, the quality perceived has fallen. The new Escalade feel less special than the generations previous. The materials interior, although they look good, not themselves feel so premium as Mercedes or BMW. The controls seem taken from vehicles GM more cheap because they are. Then you have a vehicle that costs like German premium. It feels like GM regular and depreciates worse than both. It is the worst combination possible. The owners are devastated seeing their values collapse. Many are underwater, owing more of what it's worth. And GM continues producing more Escalade, flooding the market, worsening the problem for all. Position 1, Lincoln Navigator 2025. The number 1 hurts because the Navigator is really a good SUV. It is comfortable, powerful, well-equipped. But to the market of 2026, not it matters to, and the owners are seeing losses absolutely catastrophic. The Navigator begins in 90,000 and totally loaded reaches 110,000 euros. In 3 years, it worth 40,000. 70,000 euros disappeared like smoke. Why so brutal? First, the brand Lincoln is fighting desperately for relevance. The buyers of luxury not see to Lincoln at level of Cadillac and much less of the Germans. Second is the production excessive. Ford produced too many Navigator and the market used is completely flooded. Third are the problems of reliability documented. The new Navigator are plagued of problems electronic, failures of transmission, problems of suspension. Consumer reports. It qualifies low in reliability and the owners confirm in forums full of complaints. Fourth are the costs of maintenance. The Navigator out of warranty is expensive to maintain. Service, parts, labor, everything is premium. Fifth is the competition that is simply better. The Escalade is more icon, the Germans are more prestigious, the Japanese are more reliable. The Navigator is trapped in the middle in land of no one without identity clear. The result is that the values of resale are in fall free and the owners are devastated by the losses. The dealerships not want Navigator used in their lots. The auctions not receive offers competitive. The owners trying to sell privately not have luck finding buyers. The Navigator has become in the worst investment of SUV of luxury that you can make in 2026. If you are considering to buy one, flee so fast as you can in the direction opposite. There you have, 20 SUV of gasoline that became without value in time record, which you impacted more or worse. You are trapped with one of these disasters of depreciation. Leave your stories of horror in the comments. If you reached until here, press that button of like and subscribe because really it helps to the channel to grow. The lesson learned is clear. Price high not guarantees value. Brand prestigious not means resale strong. Research before of to buy. Check the predictions of depreciation. Read the reviews of owners real. Because to lose 50,000 euros in 3 years not is an investment smart. It is a nightmare financial of the which many never recover. Thanks for watching and we see you in the next video.